Hi, everybody. My name is Carmen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Monday morning on April 26, 2021, and we're doing a new thing. Today, I am going to start talking to all of the new people who have made the bold and fearless decision to join the community pod. And I know a lot of people are wondering, what is the community pod? Carmen has her hands in all kind of things. She talks about all kind of things. And sometimes we can get lost in all of the stuff that's going on because she's talking about education. She's talking about the pod. She's constantly talking about Jesus, 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 and church and racial reconciliation, all of this stuff. And how does it intersect? So today at 8 o'clock, I'm going to start talking to all the beautiful people who have decided to make a shift in their life and a shift in the community and think they are really curious about what is happening in this community, the pod, because they've never seen anything like what I'm trying to implement. So I want to share with you the orientation PowerPoint that I started because there's also a lot of documents going on. You see me creating a lot of things and just sharing them, and then you're seeing them shift and change. One thing that's really, really important to me is transparency. Transparency is the heart of everything that I do, and authenticity. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, made a lot of bad decisions in my life, but I've also made a lot of good decisions and a lot of good choices. And with that being the case, as this community pod is building, and because people are giving their time, their talent, and their treasure into this work, it is very important that I share everything that's happening with finances. It's very important that we tell stories consistently about what's going on. So as we navigate through what this PowerPoint is going to look like, I want you to be mindful of all of the different intersections, how you can potentially participate, because there is a lot happening. A lot is required to happen for us to heal and reconcile. And in the community pod, there's an intersection for everyone. And I do mean everyone. We are a feeder. We are a feeder for all of the awesome organizations that are out here doing the work. But the reason that we are a feeder is because the typical person that I'm reaching out to or that we are reaching out to would never, I'm not going to say never, they would have a difficult time navigating through some of the organizations, some of the resources, and how it's presented because we haven't shifted the paradigm to how we engage with people. So we're hoping through the work we're doing in the community pod, where we're empowering people, that it will really impact their lives and ultimately the community. And it'll be a catalyst for all of the great things that are happening within our community at large. So I'm also benefiting from this with becoming Carmen because I'm a launching entrepreneur. So hopefully I can share some of that as well with you. But I want to share this PowerPoint with you and understand it's still going to be changing and updating because we are a community pod. And as we are building, we're leveraging all of our power, we're leveraging all of our social capital while giving space to people in their lives. And as we center people, what we're finding out is everyone can't give us an answer right then on things we need to shift or change in things that we're doing. But when they can provide space, then we can make the necessary changes. That's how you move the needle. So let's not continue with this. I want to show you this PowerPoint. So I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see what I'm seeing. And you'll see me looking over here because the screen is over here. So get to the heart of healing the community. I have a private group called STO The Corner. And for the longest time, we were trying to get that group going so it can turn into what we wanted it to be. But when you get to the heart of healing the community, you see the schools, you see the hospital, you see the church, you see all of the intersections of all of the other community resources. And then you see a person. It takes an individual person to connect with other people in the intersection. If we're going to make any type of meaningful change, and how do you center the needs of people when you want to make a change? How do you pull up to them? In the community pod, we're going to figure out how to center the needs of the people that we serve so that they can make the necessary shifts in their life. That's what's being done for me right now through all of the work and the organizations that I'm connected to. It centers me. And that is how we're going to make the shifts in this community. Here's the origin, and we don't have to really read all of this, but you can see that in 2020, I was connected to St. Louis Mutual Aid. And I am a college educated woman. So understand these 20 plus years of trying to navigate corporate America, trying to be something that I wasn't, trying to fit into a space that I didn't fit because I wasn't activating my power, my purpose, so I could fulfill my destiny. It was almost like I was hitting a brick wall. So when you think about the origin of where you're coming into this community pod, what needs do you yourself need to have fulfilled so that you can then shift and fulfill the needs of others? And when you think about your purpose and your path, how did you come into this pod? Some people are coming in fully empowered and fulfilled. Some people are coming in disempowered and unfulfilled. Some people are coming in with a desire to serve. Some people are coming in with curiosity. But we all have something to offer. We all have something to receive. And iron sharpens iron. So when you pull up into your path, understand that everything does not have to be all the way together for you to center yourself and center your ability to help another person dream. The key thing is removing all of your agendas and what you think a person should be doing and giving them space to navigate through that themselves. And when you think about the plan and we talk about the position, to be in a position to allow somebody to create a plan that will shift their trajectory is a game changer. People have all type of dreams inside of them. And I don't know who said it, but there are more dreams and big $1 million aspirations in the cemetery than anywhere else because we don't give people space to plan out their dreams so that they can have them. But on 319, the community pod was incubated with $15,000 to incubate my dream. And my dream is to empower other people to walk into theirs. And this is going to be amazing. The purpose, path, plan, and position with the funding. So we're going to be launching transformational coaches, newly established transformational coaches. And I found one and she is phenomenal, phenomenal. And what I found is that when you have access to what I call a champion, which is a coach, the game changes. So what if everybody was empowered and was on the same path of having access to a coach? What would happen with their life? What would happen with their aspirations and dreams if they could just dream their dream? I'm going to just leave that there. Then through this project, we're going to support 5 dreamers, 5 dreamers. And we're going to wrap that coaching support around them so that they can really think about what's important to them, not you, but to them. And after they figure out what's important to them, how do they begin to make that necessary shift? But here's the thing, it's a feeder, we're a feeder. So it's an introduction to something that's amazing. Because guess what? Someone gave me like a taste of coaching. Like I knew I was getting coaching all those years ago, but I didn't know it was coaching. But someone gave me a taste and they told me the name. So not only did they give me this foreign thing, they gave it to me and they said, this is what I'm giving you. And when I tasted it, it tasted really good, guys. So we're going to wrap coaching around, but just the taste, because men and women, we all need a champion. So I'm hoping through this, people will begin to look at all of these other phenomenal organizations that are out here that provide cohorts for people to get involved, to shift their life, to give them that free coaching support, to give them that 100% wraparound holistic support that men and women need so that they can take these dreams that they're incubating here, that they got a little support with, that somebody told them, you can change the world. And then they go and they get into these organizations and these cohorts, and then they actually change the world, like what I'm trying to do right now. So that is what we're going to try to do. Not we're going to try, we are going to do. Because even with this reporting, I'm not going to change it. None of that, because I need people to understand the authenticity and the transparency of what we're trying to do. This last bullet point, we will support caregivers in solidarity with centering the caregiver. I'm not going to say a lot about centering the caregiver, but there's 2 amazing founders of this organization, Jackie and Krista. And they get it. Like when you center the caregiver, the game changes. The game changes. And I think as a founding member of this soon to be nonprofit, because I'm doing life with these women right now, we're understanding all of the things that come up in our lives. And we're all from different social and economic backgrounds, and we cross all different races. So as we're incubating this together, and we're talking with children and families together, and they're looking at the community pod and what's happening, and I'm looking at centering the caregiver and what's happening, and we're looking at all of the resources in the community, it is very important that everything that is done wraps around children and families in the way that it should have in the beginning. So as we begin to create the pod in its essence, understand that centering the caregiver will be a crucial part of this work in everything that we do. What's required? Let's say you're in this pod and you're not just like a volunteer and you're one of those aspiring dreamers or coach or something like that. You're going to participate in your coaching. You're going to do check-ins. You're going to honor your commitments. At least you're going to try to. You're going to pull others in. And that's the big thing. Are you looking for an ally or are you looking for an accomplice? In this community pod, we're looking for accomplices. We're looking for people who want to provide wraparound support to our dreamers and aspiring entrepreneurs who are also dreamers. They just went another step from their dream and they launched. I'm an entrepreneur. The coach is an entrepreneur. So how are we wrapping around dreamers and entrepreneurs? But then dreamers and entrepreneurs, how are we wrapping around each other? Are we coming into this space with, I got to get mine? Or are we coming in this space understanding that iron sharpens iron? But the same measure of what I ask for is the same measure of what I will give back. How do we be supporters of one another and share social capital and lean on each other and be available to each other, not drain each other, but also replenish each other's tank. This is a community pod. So we also provide communal support. We be available. We make ourselves available to each other to receive and give support when we are operating in our time, our talents, and our treasures. Everybody that's in our community pod will get a W-9. They're going to submit all that to St. Louis Mutual Aid. And as we navigate and build our community pod, you'll find out more about St. Louis Mutual Aid. All of our dreamers will begin to create wish lists for themselves. And those wish lists will help them be able to navigate through what they're trying to create, what they're trying to do for their life, what they're trying to imagine. It all starts in the coaching. The heart of this is centering them and what's important to them. And I know it seems like, so we're just paying these people to what? We're paying these people to come into the community, to shift their lives, to really think about how to make the necessary changes that they need in their life. And those changes will impact the community in a meaningful way. For those of you who have been watching, we are actually deep into the beautification project. We're getting the grass cut on the regular basis. We're starting to get out here and get flowers and things in the yard. We're working on plans to get ceilings and roofs fixed and stairs fixed in the neighborhood. So it is beginning to happen. We're seeing where people can take their dreams and really make necessary shifts. We have one dreamer who is volunteering on a regular basis at a Red Circle, but now she's getting ready to implement her program or plan to participate in the St. Louis Dream Center and start to actively go volunteer so she can create a feeder where the Dream Center comes in and helps us in our community as well. So I want you guys to really, really think about how this community pod is providing communal care and wrapping around churches and schools in our community to make the necessary shifts. You have a dream. So St. Louis Mutual Aid funded me $15,000 for 3 months, and I have to be able to go back to them. So you're going to see stories and all of that come out about what's going on. But I have a dream. And in my dream, we are really shifting the paradigm of our community by building relationships in a meaningful way. We're taking the dreams of the people that are in the community, we're plugging them in and letting them know you can do it, you can be it. And when we empower people in the community, it will shift the landscape of the community. It will give people the ability to not only believe in themselves, but believe in the power of the shift of the community. And it's an investment in them. And people don't invest in the community and people like they used to. They invest in the vision and the mission of organizations. This pod invests in the vision and the mission of the people. And that is what we are pushing forward. So my ultimate dream, we have one support organizer. I would like to see 3. We have 5 dreamers. I would like to see 15. We have 1 coach. I would like to see 3. I would like to see these people go through this community pod with support for 1 year. And over that year, they begin to create a pathway toward, if they have an established LLC, a pathway to creating their own residual income, relying less on the pod and becoming self-sufficient. If they're a dreamer, they will begin to activate that dream. We will begin to wrap around them as a pod to turn it into a business. And then they will ultimately begin to get that residual income where they don't need the pod as much and be able to become self-sufficient. From there, all of these people will feed into other cohorts or nonprofit organizations that can take them to the next level. These are people that organizations don't touch or don't have the capacity to touch. We want to be there for them because since coming home in 2008, I've realized there's a lot of power in our community. And for whatever reason, we don't access it. And we need to think about why we don't access it and what we can do to really give people a hand up, teach them how to fish. Yes, there are trust issues in the community. Yes, there are brokenness in the community. But if we don't go into this community and actually work with them through the trust issues, through all of the barriers, we will never make the change. And then all the other things that you hear me arguing and screaming and bumping my head about, those things won't change. There are trust issues that prevent people from making the shift. Supporting this type of work is the intersection of it. And it will grow all of our dreams for our communities exponentially. Here's some of the people in the pie. This is Gabe. He's starting the beautification project. This is Deborah. She go to my church with me. She just came back from the islands. I think it's Moving Up Ministry, but she's also getting ready. No, Moving Up is a nonprofit. 4300 Farland, homeless veterans. Get in that project. Our fundraiser that we have, part of that proceed is going to help this work. But she also has a heart for homeless people. So she's getting ready to start her own project where her stipend is not going in her pocket. She's putting every cent into the program that she's trying to kick off. And I'm excited to begin to tell you guys that story when we start that in the coming week. This is my foster brother. His name is Cardius. Cardius is a mobile barber. He's a man of God, and he has a dream. And he's getting ready to work with Honey Coaching, who is a launch entrepreneur, to get his dream going. And then we have Shantae, who's working and supporting a Red Circle as a volunteer because she has a dream and she does have a career, but she's ready for a shift. She's ready to walk in her purpose. And getting connected with Erica at A Red Circle was a game changer. Going to Jefferson City was a game changer. Having access to somebody who said, girl, dream that dream was a game changer. And this little old lady, she's the fire. Like she is the one that said, this community can be better than this. And before I die, it will be better than this. And we're making the necessary steps because she asked us to. This is Miss Gloria. This is the intersection, people. Miss Gloria is a part of the same organization that I am and was a part of, Children's Education Alliance of Missouri. We are parent advocates together, and she has a dream. And now I get to stand in the gap with her to help her fulfill that dream. But when I think about SEEM and how we all intersect, I would ask all organizations to remember that as we push education in all of our specific platforms, when we center children and families, and I mean really center them, and we create catalysts and feeders for everything that they need, they can always pull up and address and support you in the visions that you have for our communities. We are strategically connected to make change. And the decisions that we make today will affect tomorrow. I invite everyone to join the community plan. It will shift everything you're trying to do in your work. This is the reason. This is Miss Julie. How do we provide authentic communal care? We center community caregivers. I am excited to be able to partner with this amazing woman as she dreams her dream and walks in her power, because I've never seen a woman more powerful than her. She's never given up, never given up. More to come on this poll. Together, we become the dream. Who are we? This is Ibony with Honey Coaching, an entrepreneur who is walking fully empowered into the work. She encourages us to look at ourselves, encourages us to put equity in ourselves. And she constantly has a lantern somewhere nearby to guide a light for those who needs to see it. This other beautiful woman, her name is Anna. She's a part of St. Louis Mutual Aid. She's just an amazing woman. She's a part of our community pod. You see my friend Sarah, she brought some flowers and came over for several hours and dug in with us. But here's my dream organizations, and there's a lot more I would like to add, and I'm hoping to add. St. Louis Mutual Aid, thank you for starting us off and getting us incubated. A Red Circle, thank you for giving space for volunteers to just come over and learn and help us create the necessary documents, some of the things that we need to implement to get better. St. Louis Dream Center, you're my home church, but also you're an outreach. You know what it is, and you know what I'm doing and why. But thank you for Project Imprint. Project Imprint gives space for everybody to come into this work and to participate in their gifts and talents. Bring your time, your talent, and your treasure to this space. Help the kids in tutoring. Get in the food pantry. Do some bag up some toiletries. Help us with some landscaping around the church. Help the Genesis men with those car washes. There are so many things that you can do right here in the 63115 community. And Centering the Caregiver. Centering the Caregiver is a new nonprofit that's coming to really reimagine how we provide communal care in schools, where we bring schools and caregivers together and build their relationship back. So these are some of the organizations that's involved in the community pod in some kind of way. Oh, Rooted River. Rooted River, they adopted us. I don't even know what to say about this organization other than their pull-up is amazing. They are helping us to write grants, get sponsorship, get support. But the biggest thing is, I don't know any of these people. And they have just been there. They have been there supporting this pod when no one else would. And I think that that is amazing. Our financial records, everything that we do, I try to keep in transparency here. We also have a pod fundraiser. All of the funds are going to support the stipends of the dreamers and the newest entrepreneurs as they begin to build up and out. We're hoping that as we build this plan, and we want you to be a part of it, that they will ultimately not need that stipend and become self-sufficient with supportive coaching. We will identify a pathway to that. but what you're investing is in the community. So if you are in the STL, the corner, the private group, you will see the pictures. You will get more of the stories of what is happening and how people are benefiting from your support. You will see how we are going to the St. Louis Dream Center and supporting. You will see how we're going to a Red Circle and supporting. You will see our going out to the General Barn and supporting other seniors that cannot get out of the home. We will be consistently dropping information about what we're doing. Um, I've never said as much as I'm doing right now. And that's because I'm not going back to edit this, but I want to make sure I'm being very transparent about this is an incubating pod where we are trying to do something that has never been done before. And although it appears like we're giving someone something, we're not. We're trying to teach people how to fish as opposed to asking for fish. So everyone that has a stipend also will have objectives, things that they are trying to accomplish, and support systems to help them accomplish it. Your support will help people center what's important so that they can focus and shift their lives. And that has been the problem. People have not been given access to the resources that they need. Or if they have, they've been given it and told how they have to use it. And what we are trying to do is clear the path and tell people, you have power. You are the essence of everything that you are. And you can do anything, anything. Just like one of my partners told me, Carmen, PowerPoint is great, but we have to go in deeper. We have to tell people how they can get involved. We have to explain X, Y, Z, A, B, C. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to add those things. But that doesn't stop us from right now getting involved in this work and helping people. Helping people. And it may not be that you have time. Maybe you have treasure. Maybe you don't have treasure. Maybe you have talent. Maybe you just have the ability to share this and keep sharing it because you want to help people and you want to see where this potentially can go. Radical change, reconciliation requires radical action. And it requires us to do something differently. There is absolutely no reason that we all cannot get involved in some way, some shape, some fashion. No, we do not have to agree on everything to help each other. So, who am I? I am Carmen. I am a dynamic, transformative trailblazer who is incubating her dream. I want to support someone in becoming a homeowner. I want to support people in being bold and fearless and courageous. I want to show people that when we come together in the web, we can change the game. When we share peace, receive and give welcome, when we be a witness, when we actively listen and activate our power, we can do anything. So in about 40 minutes, I'm going to start talking to everyone that's officially in the community pod, and I'm asking you to think about joining us by giving your time, your talent, or your treasure, helping us to perfect this work. We could use you. We could really use your support. Y'all have a good day. Bye.